Coming in, flex, I just wanna win, LABB, who we running with, 2233, I'm on 10 again, state your name, been dope on flame, I just switched the lanes, damn he did it again, I just flipped the pain, stripping and dipping in bass, slab on everything. Swimming, you sinking away, cause I got big racks coming. I put my low racks on it. I ain't skip past losses, I had to get back off it. See the fit lab on it until they whip my coffin. Money clip, I tossed it, I heard it's big bags on big bags on big bags coming, coming in, flex, I just wanna win, LABB, who we running with, 2233, I'm on 10 again.
What's up, Builders Club TV Nation? You got Dewan Jones here, your professional stay-at-home dad, and I'm fired up and excited, super excited, family, and it's because of the guest we got for you tonight. This gentleman's phenomenal, iconic in this industry, entrepreneur, business mentor, inspirational or international speaker, author. He's got many things that he's done in this career of network marketing in his profession. He's literally helping so many people across the globe win big in this home business industry, and we're excited that we have him right here tonight on the Builders Club TV show. Want to make sure that we got myself on camera. Let me get on camera, family, so I can address you, and as always, let you know that I'm definitely excited about you being here. Thank you for sharing the information about the platform, the Builders Club TV show, and that it's finally here. Thank you so much. Continue to share the information. Again, this is for the culture. Let me make sure that we got Cedric on with us. Mr. Harris, can you hear me okay, sir? I can hear you, man. Let me get you on camera really quickly, man, so that we can get you on in front of the family so we can see you and talk to you a little bit, man. There we go. Got you right there. What's going on, man?
Another day in Hollywood, brother. As soon as we started this, we got some lovely background noise going on. So excited to be here with you, brother. Excited to be rocking and rolling with this interview, and excited for all the things that you're doing for the industry, man. So yeah. Let's rock.
Hey, man, I'm honored, man. And we do appreciate the background noise. We believe in reality TV here on the Builders Club TV show. So if we got dogs ripping and running through the background, it's quite okay with us, man. We like it real and raw and uncut.
There it is. There it is.
So, man, if you've seen the show a little bit, what we like to do, Cedric, we like to throw our guests into the Builders Club TV time machine, and we like to talk to you because being that you've been able to create so much success, so many results in this industry, a lot of people building the dream are watching you and your career. But what we really would like the honor to do is to go back into your past, because we figured out, Cedric, there's so much to learn, man, in the path or the past of successful people. Would you agree?
Absolutely. 100% I would agree.
Awesome. So, hey, man, we can jump into this time machine. Take us back, Cedric, and let us know. Tell us, what was life like for Cedric Harris before network marketing?
The time machine. Wow. You taking it back a little bit.
Take it back.
Before network marketing, well, I grew up in Richmond, Virginia. I grew up in a middle income, small middle size America, if you want to call that. But I really grew up in the bricks, quote unquote. I mean, 5 minutes from where my house was, all my friends were, basically was the projects. And that's where mentally I grew up at, physically I grew up at, all my friends and family. So the south side of Richmond, VA is where I was raised at all my life. And it was a very interesting time growing up, if I could, use the word interesting. It was a very interesting time, in the 80s and 90s growing up in the South, there was a lot of things that you saw. Yeah. I started off in the candy business, quote unquote, in high school, out there selling candy and, making a quote unquote living selling candy until my candy bag got repossessed. And once that got repossessed, I got introduced to the drug game because I had no choice. So that was my surroundings, and that's where I got, introduced to, and learned a lot of things about life being inside that game, and also took a nice little trip away because of that game as well.
Right.
I had to spend some time away and realize what life was truly all about when you surround yourself around the type of people that I was surrounding myself around and growing up in the environment, that I grew up in. So, when I was 18 years old, I went to a boot camp program and had 10 years over my head and, got caught with possession of cocaine with intent to distribute, or possession of the cocaine while in possession of a firearm.
Right.
And I was 18 years old, facing a lot of time, so went into a boot camp program, man, and everything changed after that, everything, so that was a long time ago.
Yeah. So
crazy in here.
Yeah. Oh, it's all good. So, because the story is getting very interesting. So, if you will continue, man, and because we're taking notes.
I got you. So yes, I was 18 years old, went to a boot camp program. 42 of us went into this boot camp program. 12 of us came home.
Right.
It was probably the toughest thing I ever did in my life. Came home. A lot of people didn't want to give me a job, but I knew how to sell. That was something I was good at. Before I went into the boot camp program, I was a part-time salesman at a clothing store called Cavaliers Men's Shopper on Broad Street in Richmond, VA back in the day. And, I was selling a lot of clothes, and it was a good time, but, we wanted to be greedy as well. And we had our hands in the streets at the same time, which was a no-no. Yeah. But yeah, after we came home, most companies didn't want to give me a job. So I got another job selling clothes at another clothing store. And then I got a job, throwing cigarette boxes for a company at Philip Morris, basically loading 40-foot containers, doing that 100 degrees outside. It was crazy, loading up these crazy hot containers. Wow. And then started doing more things in the sales side of the world, and ended up in a sales job selling frozen food, man. I never forget it. A company called American Frozen Foods. Was selling 4, 5, 6 months worth of steaks and meats and all that good stuff at one particular time in a $2,000 freezer, and got good at selling that. And they made me a manager. And when they made me a manager, that's actually how I got introduced to network marketing.
Wow.
That was the beginning of the story of networking.
Wow. So tell us about that. Who tapped you on the shoulder?
So it really wasn't a tap. It actually happened by a little bit, I would say, by happenstance. One of my reps at the time, my guy Todd, he went out and he sold a food service to a client that we had, my guy by the name of Manley. And he pitched him Excel Communications. And at the time, Todd brought it back to the office and said, hey, this guy told me about this Excel Communications thing. I told him that it wasn't for me, but it might be something that you might like. So I started looking at it and checked it out, and obviously everybody had a telephone, and that was back, when long distance was really, really hot, and AT&T and Sprint and were out there doing it for 19, 20 cents a minute, and Excel was doing it for 10 cents a minute. So I was intrigued by what I saw. It looked very, very simple to me. Ironically, the next day, Manley tried to call to cancel his food service. So it was a prime opportunity for me to, not only save the deal so we could keep our commission, but also learn a little bit more about Excel. So I went out to his house and sat down with him and learned a little bit more about Excel, saved that food service, and got introduced to the game, man. And that was my first introduction, and being around people. That was at the time when Paul Oberson, Lord rest his soul, Paul Oberson was making $1 million a month in Excel Communications. And I seen anybody making that kind of money. That was back in the 90s, bro. That was crazy. So that was our run. That was our first run at the game.
Wow. So tell us, what was your first year in network marketing like, your experience once you decided to dive into it?
My first year in network marketing was a whole whopping $4,000. Whole whopping $4,000. Ironically, a little less than a year ago, I found the 1099 from that year. It was crazy. I found it was 1999, as a matter of fact. So 1999. So I found that 1099. So yeah, $4,000 my first year. Man, I wasn't building anything. I was selling the business. I mean, it was $245 to get in. I knew how to sell. All you had to do was get somebody to sign a form. It was taking candy from a baby, man. We were going door to door. We were in the hood. We were signing up. We didn't care. You know what I mean? We didn't care, man. If you were breathing, you had a pulse, and you had a telephone autograph this doggone document so we can mail this thing in.
Right.
You know, we didn't have to worry about third party,
Mailing
you know,
in. Wow.
and verification and none of that stuff. So yeah, so that was my introduction. So yeah, $4,000 my first year.
So tell us about the shift that took place where the light bulb came on and you started to realize exactly what you were a part of.
I wouldn't necessarily say, I can't really say the light bulb went off in Excel, to be honest, bro. You know, I made a little bit of money. I was around a lot of people that were killing it. I was getting edified and getting put on stage quite a bit, but I was just recruiting. I wasn't building anything. You know, I was frontlining a lot of people because I knew how to sell, but nobody was duplicating. Once I was only in Excel for a little over a year, and that's when Kenny Trout, the owner of Excel, he actually sold out. You know, he got offered over $1 billion to cash out. So he walked away, and the company that took it over screwed it all up. So a lot of us went over to ACN at the time, but the culture was different. So we didn't really hang out there too long. And then ultimately Excel Communications dissolved. A lot of us just went our separate ways. And I ended up in the mortgage business. So I ended up in the mortgage business. Did really, really well in the mortgage industry, caught that window of opportunity, you know, from 2001 up until 2006, back when you bought a house at 9 o'clock and sold it at 9:15. And it was just life-changing money, man. Life-changing money. You know, made me a millionaire at a very, very young age at 27 years old. And I thought the sky was apart, you know, but then all of a sudden everything collapsed, as we all know, right? Everything totally collapsed. You know, the mortgage industry went south, housing dried up. I moved to Florida, you know, to run the company. And when the mortgage industry got hit, Florida, Nevada, California, those were the first 3 states to get hit the worst, you know, so we really, really felt the pain. So I got out of the mortgage industry, man, and just kind of chilled for like 6 months, bro. I chilled, I went fishing. I did a lot of fishing. And I traded some stocks, and I realized that I wasn't a stock trader one day when I lost a significant amount of money trading stocks. And I said, you know what, I shouldn't be sitting in front of a computer because I'm not a computer stocky guy. So at that point, I got back into the MLM arena, and that was in 2006. That's when I got back. That's when the light bulb really changed, to be honest.
So what happened, what actually took place that made you start building or start to understand the industry differently, where you started to realize, if I'm going to have success, I'm going to have to start really building this thing?
Well, I realized a couple things. First of all, coming out the mortgage industry, at that point, I was psychologically unemployable. You know, I mean, I had made a great income. I wasn't going back to work for anybody else. I had looked at some other franchises, and it was just nothing that really, really tickled my fancy. And because financially I wasn't in any rush to have to go to work anywhere, I said, hey, I'm going to do what I want to do. You know, so I knew that network marketing was the only way that I could really truly go out there and do what I wanted to do without having a boss and build something serious. So that's when I took it, you know, a lot seriously. And when I came back, I got into a company called Lightyear. Lightyear isn't around now, so we can talk about it. But, you know, I got into a company called Lightyear Alliance. And that was back when Vonage was really, really hot and selling voice over internet. And it was something I was familiar with because when I started in network marketing, I started with communication. So it's like, hey, if I come back, I come back in communication. It was kind of a great match. And some people from Excel were there as well, you know, from a corporate standpoint. So that was cool. You know, we had a good run there, and everything was running on cool cylinders, man, for a while. And then one day they woke up and said they wanted to sell juice.
Wow. And
that changed the game. That just changed the game. You know, I'm like, you know, anybody that's been following me for a while, you know, I'm pretty raw. So I'm like, that doesn't work for me.
Right.
You know, it's like, hey, we're selling voice over internet. And oh, by the way, I've got this juice that's going to help your leg grow back that was grown in the Himalayan mountains that only 16 people get to, that this is a special berry. You know, I'm like, get out of here with that. What are you talking about? But that was back when Monavie and Zango was really, really hot. You know, so companies were looking at the juice war saying, well, hey, let's get into the juice business. And that didn't make sense to me. So got out of that and got into My Lead System Pro, and really started building out My Lead System Pro and figuring out the marketing game. And that's when the marketing pot of gumbo was opened up and changed my life forever.
Amazing. So in terms of marketing, because you're a marketing guy, okay? And so when you look at your career, being that it spans over, so many years, you've seen things go, you've seen things come, you've seen the changes, the ebbs and flows of the industry. In terms of marketing, what do you think some of the things that have changed since back when, the time you were talking about, the time frame where, you're using mail-in applications and things like that versus fast forward to now? What do you think about some of the things that have happened as far as marketing and the way network marketing is done today?
Well, I mean, first of all, you have to learn to innovate. You've got to adapt and innovate, no matter how you slice and dice anything, right? So, things that used to work 15 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, obviously, some of them still might work a little bit, but not as much, as they did back then, because quite frankly, you've got a new opportunity that shows up every 2 seconds. Every 2 seconds. So you've got people with very, very short attention spans right now. That's number one. Number two, you have to pay attention to technology. It's scary how people try to ignore technology and try to stick in, old dilapidated ways of doing things. But quite frankly, we're already going to 2020. So if we're going into 2020, listen.
Keep it real with us. Come on.
If you ain't building a list right now, you're killing yourself. Like you have to be branding you right now, because you don't know what's going to happen in anything that you do. Period. Like I learned this the hard way. After 20 years, I've learned this the hard way. And most people really, truly don't get it. So you've got to get your marketing down. You've got to learn to adapt. You got to say, okay, is Facebook got sufficient hole? Great. Okay, I've got to figure out some things on Facebook. Oh, great. Everybody's got their head down, stuck in their cell phones right now. Okay, great. I got to figure out some things on texting and what I can do when it comes down to marketing, on a cell phone. You got to look at, okay, well, people over here on this specific site or whatever the case may be, I've got to figure out how I can get traffic on those specific sites. People are paying attention to funnels. How can I get my funnel game down? Like, you got to pay attention to what's working. And so many people, right, they get stuck, Dewan, in either not wanting to figure it out or getting stuck at that point of it's a little bit of a roadblock. It's a little bit of pain to learn it. So because there's some pain involved, I don't want to learn it. And they get stuck. And what they fail to realize is that success is on the other side of that pain. So case in point, back, I would say, what was it, 2009, 2008, 2009, somewhere in that range. That's when I think that My Lead System Pro was like really, really hot. That's when the whole attraction marketing thing was really hot. Right. Mike Dillard was doing the whole magnetic sponsoring thing, and everybody was on this whole attraction marketing, magnetic sponsoring, and that's when I really started paying attention to that, right? And seeing what was working, and they were talking about the multiple streams of income and building the list, and some people didn't pay attention to it, and some people did. So as I fast forward today, right, and I look at a lot of the people that came through that system, and then I look at some of the people where they are today, it's crazy. Like there's been company owners that have come out of there, affiliate managers that have come out of there, launch guys who created launches, multi-million-dollar launches that have come out of there from something that, was basically trained on 10 years ago, but that still works today because marketing is marketing is marketing. But you've got to learn to adapt. You've got to learn to be on the forefront of it. You've got to learn to say, if network marketing is 2 words, what's the most important word in it? Marketing. It's 2 words, marketing. So that means that if I take a marketer and I stick a marketer in the middle of Idaho in a potato field, and that person doesn't know a soul, they can put 1,000 people on their team because they know how to what? How to market. Now, some people are going to argue with me on this, but no, Cedric, it's the network. Networks are great, and you want to build a network, and your network does equal your network. However, on the same token though, once you understand marketing, it can never be taken away from you. See, once you figure out funnels, nobody can take that away from you. It doesn't matter what happens to your company. Once you figure out Facebook ads, it doesn't matter what happened to your comp plan or to your shipping or your customer service. Once you figure out Instagram, it doesn't happen with the decisions that this CEO made or that person made. Now this is some real talk right now.
Oh yeah.
Because at the end of the day, once you got your marketing game down, then you can say, okay, these people can make these type of decisions, but it's not fully affecting all my income. It might affect it to a certain point, but it's not fully affecting it all. When a lot of people get into a situation where they don't figure out marketing, or they only know 1 or 2 or 3 dilapidated techniques of marketing, and then they teach that and try to duplicate that, but they're also subject to the decisions that other people make. They're subject to the decisions that a CEO makes, that a VP makes, or whatever, good, bad, or indifferent. It could be a great decision. It could not be a great decision. But when it comes down to marketing, we are responsible. Like, listen, most people don't look at those terms and conditions, Dewan. They don't look at the terms and conditions, right? It says independent distributor. It doesn't say dependent. It says independent distributor. I don't care what company that somebody's in that's looking at this. It says independent distributor. So since it says independent distributor, we independently are responsible for our own success. We independently are responsible for learning different types of ways of marketing, regardless of whether or not if the company is teaching it or if the upline is teaching or whatever it's coming from. Because once you get that marketing down, bro, you become like Neo from the Matrix. Stuff start moving in slow motion. That's when it's the game. That's when it's the game. That's when you don't become concerned, man. You know, and it's something that I've been passionate about for a long time. I've been really truly teaching networkers this for a long time, that they got to really get their marketing down. Once you got your marketing down, you're not hog-tied by a lot of decisions a lot of times.
Man, that's so powerful and so true. I'm with you 1,000% on everything that you're saying. So, man, talk to us. Let us know, Cedric, from the standpoint of, you got a lot of people who are hearing this all of the time, right? But maybe they're in a situation where their upline sponsor is teaching a certain method and their sponsor really hasn't caught on to what you're talking about, right? But how important, or let me just ask you this, because a lot of people I feel might be confused on what it really means to build your personal brand. They hear it, build your brand, build you. But a lot of people I think don't really know what that means. Can you tell us what does it mean to build your personal brand?
Well, who are you? Who are you? Like, at the core, who are you? Number 2, what can you do better than other people? Who are you? Number 1. Number 2, what can you do better than other people? And when you think about that question, I want you to think about, everybody was born with a unique ability in some way, shape, or form. Whether you've identified that or not, that's on you, because the 2 most important days of your life is the day that you're born and the day that you figure out why. So everybody has a unique ability. So with Michael Jordan, his unique ability was ball. LeBron, his unique ability was ball, right? You know, Dexter Yeager, his unique ability was building people. You know, what is your unique ability? Have you figured that part out yet? That's number 2. Number 3, what can you do on a regular basis that can offer value to your marketplace? For your favorite 4-letter word. What can you do on a regular basis that can offer value to your marketplace for your favorite 4-letter word? Information that they're going to constantly be consuming, right? When it comes down to branding, I look at it from a couple of different perspectives. Number 1, if someone can go to your Facebook profile and know exactly what network marketing company that you're in, you failed. You failed. You just failed quiz number 1. Okay, now there's a significant amount of people that are going to fail at because they didn't know any better. So let's just keep it real. Listen, here's the beautiful thing about this video series and podcast and what you're doing here is that it's yours, so we can get raw. Let's just be
Please
real.
get raw. We keep it raw. That's how we do it. The family knows.
This is not a corporately sponsored training here. All right, so let's just be real. Okay, so your network marketing company loves you when you have all that stuff plastered on the background. It's free marketing. It's free advertisement. Now, let's all look at this for what it is. If we look at the game for what it is, okay? In a traditional company, if it was Fruit of the Loom, for whatever reason that came to my mind, I have no idea, maybe because I was just thinking about Michael Jordan. So Fruit of the Loom, let's say that Fruit of the Loom pays Michael Jordan $5 million to start doing Fruit of the Loom commercials, okay? Mm-hmm. Before they attain one customer, they've already paid Michael Jordan that $5 million before they attained one customer. Mm. You and I, on the other hand, inside of direct sales and network marketing, the network marketing company does not pay out one single dime until they acquire a customer or a distributor. They don't pay out one single dime until they acquire a customer or a distributor. Now, for a lot of people that are out there that think that they're comp plan geniuses and think that they really truly understand math, most direct selling companies pay between 31 and 39%. All this 72% and 85% and 69%, okay, you don't understand breakage. Okay, you really don't understand breakage. But let's say that it's paying out 40%. Let's just keep the math simple. It's paying out 40%. If the deal is paying out 40%, ladies and gentlemen, that company hasn't paid out $1 until they acquired it. Now, if you are now on your Facebook wall, on your Instagram, you're all doing all this free advertising. Mm. You've got all the weight loss stuff, all the credit repair, all the skincare, all the juice that's going to help your leg grow back, all whatever you're marketing, all on your wall, all in your profile. You've done all this community service that, number one, drives traffic to Amazon. Mm. Mm. If you are in a product-based company, I want you to understand it doesn't matter what company that you're in, your product is on Amazon in some way, shape, or form. Stop it. Doesn't matter what company it is. Your product is out there in some way, shape, or form. Don't do community service. If you want to do community service, feel free to go to your local 7-Eleven, steal a pack of sugar babies, and run out of the door. When the police catch you, there's a good chance when you go to court, you'll get 40 hours of community service. You can pick up trash on the side of the streets. But if that's not your goal in life, don't do it. So don't brand the company like that. That's number one. So I always tell people, like, when they're at events and stuff like that, it's behoove them that they take, like, smart people take pictures outside. And this is some stuff that most people don't really get. But they're gonna take pictures with their team and take pictures outside of company type logos and company type branding. Mm. So they're brand their team, but as they're taking those pictures and all those different things, they're going to be positioned a certain way. Why? Because what killed the cat? Curiosity. Mm. Curiosity killed the cat, nothing else. Your mom told you this all your life, your dad told you this all your life, and all of a sudden you forgot curiosity killed the cat. So when you go on Facebook and say Amway, and pictures of Amway and all this in the background, this and that, blah, 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 there's nothing to be curious about. Mm. I know what it is. I can go Google Amway reps in Chicago if I live in Chicago. Oh, I think my cousin said something to me about Amway at some point. Ooh, let me see if she's still in that thing. Mm. Now you did all this community service and you gave away everything. Now, network marketing company loves that. Sometimes the network marketing company is able to make money in that situation because they have a link somewhere. Mm. That might not go to a distributor. That's number one. Number two, you just made it easier. If there isn't a link, you just made it easier for the next man or the next woman by doing so much branding of the company that finally, if they want to join it and they like what they see, but they don't like you or don't want to join you, whatever the case may be, they go join Billy, and Billy doesn't even have to do any pitching because you were the one that did all the branding for him. Mm. So you got to be conscious of that. You got to be conscious of showing your products. You got to be conscious of selling the benefits of your products and not the product, whether it's a product or whether it's a service. Talk about the benefits, what it actually does, the benefits for that consumer, versus telling us all about the great wonderful berry that was grown in the Himalayan mountains that only 16 people with a special helicopter can get to at 4 o'clock in the morning on a special day of the year. Like nobody cares. Talk about what are the benefits of it? Okay, what are the benefits of the product? What are the benefits of the service? And create that curiosity so that person inboxes you, and it's not all on your wall, because all that on your wall being the infomercial stuff, the game has changed. The game has changed. People don't want to even see that stuff like that.
So what do you think? And you're touching on this a little bit. So what do you think are some of the things that you see people doing wrong on social media, and what's one thing they should stop doing immediately?
What are people doing wrong? First of all, putting your link on your wall. No, that's a no. Putting your link, putting whatever direct selling company that you're in, putting that link on your wall, that's a no. Don't do that. First of all, Facebook doesn't even like it when you put links in a post, in case you haven't figured it out yet. Anytime you put a link in a post, it dumbs down that post. So it's always best to put a link in the comment section, not in the actual post. Okay, so I see a lot of people doing that. Okay. Secondly, taking the same link that comes from your direct selling and/or network marketing company and posting it without some sort of capture mechanism. So you're just posting that blah, 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 your username.amway.com, and it takes them to an Amway page that shows all the products and the benefits and, the business, this or that, or whatever the case may be. But you don't even know if I've ever been there because you didn't capture my name, my email, my phone number, or any of that. So a lot of people also that, just like we talked about a moment ago, that literally have all their branding in the background. So that they got the branding of their network marketing company, or their network marketing company, the logo of their network marketing company is their Facebook profile picture. So it's like, instead of you connecting with DeJuan Jones, you're connecting with, Amway. I'm like, really? Like, I can't talk to logos. Logos don't talk, So that's another thing that people are doing. And then I would say a big one is trying to be somebody that you're not. Like, that's huge. Like, this whole fake it till you make it thing is destroying people. Listen, Instagram and Facebook, they've created monsters. They've literally created monsters because, think about it. You've got people that make money just by taking pictures from them. So you've got so many people now that are self-conscious just because of they go on Instagram and all they see is pictures of this and pictures and pictures and pictures and pictures and pictures. So you got people inside of network marketing that think that they've got to fake certain things. They've got to act like their life is this. Let me go rent this car. Let me take the picture in front of this. Let me take the picture in front of that. Who cares about that? Like, I got this philosophy. Stop worrying about how many likes and comments you're getting, and start paying attention to the people that aren't liking, that aren't commenting. Those are the ones you should pay attention to.
What do you think about Instagram making the change with their likes and not showing the likes, but showing the matrix to the owner, but the public won't see the likes? What do you think about that?
You know what? I just heard about that. I haven't really dug into it. Yeah. And I think mentally it's going to mess with some people. It's going to be some kickback, just like when 50 Cent changed the freaking song on Power. Like, they're going to flip it back in 2 weeks. They're going to be like, okay. People are so addicted, man. It's kind of like they got to keep hitting refresh just to see if somebody likes something.
Yeah.
Just to see if they liked it, just to see if they commented. You know what I mean? So it's like, you and I now, it's like, as the owner, okay, you can look at it as the owner, that's cool. But on the outside, it's not feeding their ego because their sister don't know that they got 5,000 likes. Their brother don't know they got 5,000 likes. They know personally, but it ain't feeding their ego enough because those other people don't know. So I'll be interested to see how that plays out.
Amazing. Cedric Harris, family. Will you go ahead and give out your social media website or anything like that?
Yeah, man. People can catch me on right at Cedric Harris, just how it sounds, on social media. Also, said on my fan page. I've got said.com coming out here very, very shortly. I'm really, really excited about the content. Said.com. So just how it sounds, CEDSAID.com. So that'll be released here the next few weeks. So be on the lookout for that. And yeah, we drop content on Facebook on a regular basis. We also play around a little bit on Instagram. Now that they taking away the likes, I don't know. I might not play on Instagram. Might mess with my depression a little bit. I'm not sure. I might go in the corner or something because I can't see the lights.
Well, man,
yeah, that's how
we definitely appreciate you having you on the show. In fact, man, we got to have you back, man, because you got so much wisdom, so much knowledge. We're actually behind the scenes, Cedric. We're taping a new series called A Day in the Life, and this is network marketing. This is the lifestyles of the rich and famous for network marketing. So as personal development meets lifestyle. So we turn on the camera and we take the family on a virtual field trip, and we get to get backstage access, if you will, into the lifestyles of successful home business entrepreneurs. And then we get a chance to have another conversation and talk more with you and get some more of those nuggets, man. So we definitely got to have you back for that.
Nice. Let's make it happen, brother. Look forward to it.
Awesome. Before we let you go really quickly, man, we've been playing a game with our guests and they've been killing it. The family's been loving it, man. We call it a word of advice with a mentor. And the way that it works, man, is we shoot a couple of words at you and then you'll give us back a word of advice using that word. Does that make sense?
A word of advice using that word. Okay.
Just give us advice based around the word that we give you.
More like a sentence of advice based on that word.
Yeah, or it could be just however you motivate it, let them use you. All right, this is bars off the top of the dome. You spit it and we get to get it. All right, you ready?
Let's do it.
All right, so the first word is serious.
Serious. Serious off the top advice. Be extremely serious about your personal development when it comes to business building.
That's good. The next word we have for you is change.
Change is inevitable. Embrace it.
The next word we have for you is brand.
You.
Say no more. Leave it right there. The next word we have for you is value.
Daily.
The last and final word that we have for you is list.
Build it daily.
Hey, man, to the point. We love it. You crushed it, man. Hey, thanks again for coming on to the show. We definitely got to have you back, man. We enjoyed having you. Thank you for coming on to the Builders Club TV.
Thanks, brother. Have an awesome time. Appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, there you go, Builders Club TV family. Cedric Harris. We'll see you next time. Peace.
Got a ceiling, most Cialis flawless, broken whips as long as it is foreign. Heard you want it cause the yam's enormous. What's in since she isn't gorgeous? Live my life, last name a Morgan Freeman. Trying to touch a forest, do not know when knocking on the door is. Came in, did it like the Porsches coming in. Yeah, flex, I just wanna win. Yeah, LABB who we running with. Yeah, 2233, I'm on 10 again. Okay, alright. Coming in, yeah, flex. I just wanna win, yeah. LABB who we running with, yeah. 2233, I'm on 10, yeah.